before me, Centennial Committee Meeting Workshop. I think it's meeting tonight.
Yes, sorry about that.
Wednesday, November 6th, what's your report? I stand for pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Madam Clerk, have roll, please.
Chairman John Eric Hoover.
Here.
Vice Chairwoman Caroline Gonzalez. Here. Member Sal Carey.
Here.
Member Adam Thompson.
Here.
Member Julie Keenan. Let the record show that Member Julie Keenan is absent from today's meeting. Member Kim Carey. Here. Member Debbie Robinson. Here. Member Janet Applefield. Here. Member Cheryl Taylor. And let the record show that Member Cheryl Taylor is also absent from today's meeting.
Okay, thank you. First up is comments from the general public. We have nobody in attendance, and I don't believe there's anybody online, so we'll.
And I did make a oops on the cover page. I included minutes in your agenda, but it wasn't on the cover page, so that's why.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we approve this. Okay. That normally comes before the come before comments.
Yes.
Okay. So rolling back, let's if I could get a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve September 17th, 24, and you want to do one at a time?
Oh, there are two sets. Yeah, let's do September 17th first.
Motion to approve September 17th, 2024, Centennial meeting minutes.
Is there a second? Second. Yeah, motion second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And if I get one for October 15th.
Motion to approve October 15th, 2024, Centennial meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Our motion carries. Now, moving on to comments from the general public. We have no one here, so I'll bring it back to comments from the chair. Committee members, I'll start to my right with Member Robinson. You go first. Member Robinson, you have any comments? Member Applefield?
Nothing else.
Member Carey, number one. Member Thompson? I'm good. Member Carey, number two?
Nope.
Yes, you are number two. Okay. And then the Vice Chair,
No
Gonzalez? Okay, I have nothing as well. So moving right on to the agenda, we got discussion on final Centennial event selection for recommendation to City Council. I will start out with some information. When we had our workshop and set these dates for the golf scramble on the March 22nd, that's actually spring break week. And so that's probably, we probably shouldn't have it there. And I actually reached out to Ryan Berg, who he actually sponsors other golf scrambles. And I reached out to him to see if he would be interested in doing that. He is very interested in doing that. And of course, he's going to be out for spring break. And we are waiting. He's a member at Innisbrook Golf Club. So that's the option to have that there. And he's willing to sponsor that. And so, but we're waiting on dates that they're going to be available.
So you didn't have any offers for dates now?
He's trying to get those from Innisbrook.
Oh, okay.
So that's he's going to try to have them to me by today, but I haven't heard from him. So, but we can't have it on that March 22nd. So I don't know if we submit this to council with the golf scramble being a TBD, and then once we get some dates from him, and maybe at council level we can just give them the dates and let council try to put it in there where it makes sense. Or
I think listing everything as a TBD should be, we should go forward with that. Just in the event some of the other events we can't schedule on these particular dates, or if for any reason we may have to cancel them. So I think it's the more or less getting the actual events and the proximity of those dates approved by council, and then we can just mention it as a TBD.
that sounds good to me. If we just let them see the actual event lists and then kind of our tentative dates, what we're thinking, and as we need to shift those, make those decisions going forward. I don't think council needs to weigh in on the actual scheduling of the events, do they, Matt? You think? Yeah. Okay. Anybody opposed to that methodology?
No.
Okay. The other thing I was going to bring up on the events I know you did a contact at Vesh. Have you
Yes.
reached out to them on those dates that we did that yet?
Not in February 19th. I haven't reached out yet. I missed last meeting.
What about the mayor's balls? Was actually one.
I did write to her. I haven't received a response. She said she was checking.
Okay. So on that, so obviously Newport Richey just had their Centennial celebration. They had the masquerade ball, which is kind of similar to what we're looking at doing. We don't have a theme, obviously, but maybe 20s or whatever, but similar type of event, a dinner and whatnot. And they had theirs at Spartan Manor. I know the only venue we really have in Port Richey is Vesh, and we were just over there for the FEMA. It's really small in there. I don't know if that venue will be big enough to have something like that. We could probably do it there, but like I said, it'd be very, very limited. So I've reached out to Chopper to get the contact of the folks, because actually Spartan Manor sponsored Newport Richey's, and I asked his opinion if they think they would be interested in sponsoring ours, and he said more than likely yes. So what's y'all's thoughts on? I know it's not in Port Richey, but it's very close. It's a really nice Spartan Manor off Massachusetts. It's a really nice venue.
Yeah, I like the venue. It's very, and it would fit more people, I believe.
You know,
And parking,
and
yeah.
it's I hate not to use somebody within the city, but we certainly don't have a venue that would accommodate that.
My only thought would be is that we should probably just put it out and then see how many people are actually interested on going once we verify like how much it's going to be. Now, the thing is that with that, if Spartan is going to sponsor it, did they say like how far did they sponsor?
Well, I mean, other than the fact of just if it's a potential to use it there, and again, we'd have to check the date and see everything, but and obviously this is kind of getting a little bit past this. Obviously, we don't need to make that decision tonight. That'd be whatever the committee. But I just know we were talking about reaching out to Vesh to possibly book that time frame. If you think it'd be better to, like I think it would be better to have it there. Like I said, it's a nicer place. Not that Vesh isn't. It's just it's very compact. And I will say that there probably is going to be a lot more people, maybe not from the city itself, but I've had people from Newport Richey saying, "Hey, let us know when your date is, so we want to go." So it's and I can tell you, Newport Richey, it was sold out, and sold out fairly early. I mean, people buy tables and whatnot. I mean, it's so if it was just our city residents going to attend it, and maybe Vesh would do it because there might not, I don't know how much interest there would be in that event.
How many things that they can take? I think it's 400 is max capacity, right?
Spartan?
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head. You know, I'd have to,
Yeah, there's quite a bit.
They can open it up.
I mean, I just was over there for lunch today for the veterans lunch they have every year. The Rotary puts on. I mean, it's big venue, and then when you walk in, you've got
What are you talking about?
Spartan Manor. Yeah, you got hallway that goes in, and then got plenty of parking, and I mean, it's a good venue for something like this, especially if we're going to have quite a few people.
I can reach out to Spartan Manor and then I can find out all the prices.
Well, I mean, I got the contact, give it to you
Okay.
too, but
Yes. So that we can compare, maybe hopefully by November 19th is our next meeting. If I can have both and then we can figure out pricings and everything. How many people do we think that we want to open it up to? Because I know Vesh had said I believe it was 100 for sit down, and if it was going to be more than that, it was going to be just a buffet. But Spartan Manor does fit more people.
yeah, and they actually the way they did theirs, everybody got their own plate delivered to their
And I
table.
know they include like everything, like centerpieces, things like that. Now Vesh doesn't. We would have to outsource that.
Yeah.
So that's a plus if Spartan Manor does include all that. And yeah, I
Yeah.
out
No,
whatever.
my only concern is the capacity.
Right,
Obviously,
I agree.
the more capacity we have, the more tickets we can sell.
Correct.
So that's
Okay.
always a positive thing. Any objections to pursuing that? Okay, well,
Mr. Chairman, just something along those lines also. I know it's a couple months down the road, but what's your thoughts or the committee's thoughts on inviting dignitaries?
yeah, so I was actually going to state that. So obviously, use Spartan Manor, I would suggest that we invite as many as possible, our state rep or state senator. Billaracus. I mean, I'd full gamut.
Yeah, I would go, yeah, at least national and maybe the governor even now.
Yeah, no, I'd send out invites to everybody.
Right,
Well, you know, you're not going to get everybody, but if
right,
you
at
get
least send the
a
invitation.
good portion of it, it's always good.
Right.
So
That's a great idea.
Do it now so we have time to plan.
yeah, the only thing normally on that when they invite the dignitaries, they normally charge for them. They have their own. They don't necessarily have their own special table, but they maybe spread them around, or they put them in a special table, whatever. And then again, there's a lot more capacity there, so more have to probably get those folks to come too. Okay. Well, on the list of events, I went through based on our workshop results, the picture I took, and everything was accurate on here. Thank you, Ashley, for putting that together. It looks like we had a couple different versions of this, a calendar and whatnot. So
The spreadsheet, in case anybody wanted to work from that. And then I gave you a calendar view too, so you can kind of see where they sit.
Yep. The only thing that wasn't on here, because we didn't set a date, was the Cirque du Soleil thing. And I know we talked about reaching out. But I guess we kind of left that open in an assignment for anybody, I guess. I've actually seen a couple advertisements for some around. I didn't make note of them, but they're kind of happening, I guess. So I don't know what y'all's thoughts of trying to reach out to somebody. If anybody want to take that on, or the search, the city has not never been involved in that when they had it over the mall, did they?
No.
So we want Cirque du Soleil or something similar to that?
Well, I was just thinking the circus thing, not Cirque du Soleil. I can't remember what we called it, but this is a circus where they set up. It was on our note. We didn't assign a date to it because it was just kind of a thought to squeeze it in. And again, that's something that it's not necessarily a lot for us to do, other than it just kind of branded as a Centennial Circus Day or whatever.
Okay,
But then they would basically come out and be host them somewhere.
I can find out. I'll find out.
Yeah, I think it's just, yes. Just see if it's an option.
I think Cheryl was trying to reach out as well, so I can follow up with her.
I think maybe that was the
Okay,
issue
so
with it.
she was,
Yeah.
okay.
But the idea was it'd be a partnership with them. Basically, they run it, they do what they always do, and we would get a portion of those. And it'd be branded as part of the Centennial.
Okay.
It's just something. It's a very easy event because we don't have to do a whole lot other than provide a space for them to
Right.
have it.
There's a circus arts school in Clearwater somewhere. They might want to come and do a performance.
Something like that, yeah. I mean, when I brought it up, it was something they travel around and have these little things. But
Yeah.
anything along those lines that
Right.
somebody want to do, just to give us an
Yeah.
easy event to put on to be part of the
I
celebration.
don't even know if the runaway veterinarian would be interested in all the animals like that. Right there on Washington. What I know. I don't know if it's animals. I don't know. But it's supposed to be a circus.
And see, the reason I brought that up is, I try to think of things that kind of back in that era were popular. I mean, obviously, circus is a little different than back in the day, but it was something that, they go out and roll a tent up and people would go to those things. So, okay, what are you looking at? But like I said, the idea behind that is to find a date in between some of this other stuff that worked out with them. And the same thing on the golf thing. Now we'll try to find a date that works out in there. But I think the rest of these were pretty solid. So, any potential changes to this, or if not, if somebody want to make a motion to forward this list of recommended events to council for their adoption.
I have one question though. Also, was Cheryl going to reach out to Newport Richey to see if March 8th was a good day for them for the field day? That was the joint event.
I actually told Debbie Manns, I think it's right after that meeting I went over there and told her that that was kind of our tentative date schedule. Wasn't approved yet, obviously, but that was our tentative date, and she marked it on their calendar. So they were very interested in participating. So
Okay, great. Hate to have
yeah, but I would think it'd be fine.
Yeah.
And like I said, once it gets the council to approve, then we'll solidify that with them.
So if there's no other comments, then I would like to make a motion to forward this to the committee, to the council, I'm sorry, so that they can look at the dates and approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, a motion second. Further discussion on the event list?
I just want to clarify that we present the list with the dates to be.
Yes. Well, do you want to make them all to be determined?
Yes, because just in case, just in case, like the bowling tournament can't be on February 22nd, or we have to move something because something may not be available. I think it might be, I think just to be on the safe side, to just put, to be determined. But
Do we want to do that and just we don't lose the dates that we've worked hard on trying to fit those in a calendar either? Because we
can keep these dates, but I think we should just put a somewhere at the bottom.
TBD, but we're kind of thinking this.
Yeah, tentative, like this.
Yeah, tentative.
These are our suggested.
Tentative schedule here, but
Our suggested dates.
open for
Yeah.
for moving them around as we need to. Okay, so I have a motion second. Any further discussion on that? The only other thing I had before we vote is the like on the field day. There was a couple things that wasn't on here, but also we've got. I don't know that necessarily needs to go to council. All the detailed things about that, the committee will come up with that later.
Yeah, I left your major points that you guys had. I know you had some points with the workshop that you had, but as far as the field day and all the inclusions, I don't think that necessarily.
Okay.
has to be on there.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody
Yeah.
is aware that this is an exhaustive list of what the detail is on here. It's
Yeah,
just
so
kind of
you have large events, but you have smaller things
Mhm.
within those large events.
Right. Okay. All right. With that, all in favor, so I say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. And
City council meeting.
it's 12.
Are we going to be able to get this on the 12th agenda? Yes. Okay.
That's a solid yes, I think.
Yeah.
That's all we have agenda-wise. Under old business, we do, and there obviously we're aware of the Centennial logo thing. So we'll turn it over to you and get some updates on the status of the logo.
Yes. So I have talked to Mr. Brian Lake, who owns him and his brother own the actual stilt home. They have sent us pictures of the stilt home, and he's awaiting Nancy to draw up a form for him to sign. He is very open. I asked him to send us pictures so we can basically use one of his pictures and get approval from him. So we're just dealing strictly with the owners of the stilt home. And he sent us several pictures, and we adopted those pictures to the current logo.
Oh, okay.
So we have two versions here. This was the picture that he provided. So we have the darker version, which is basically everything is the same except for the picture of the stilt home. We have white lettering, and then we have dark lettering. So
So I think the difference in that one is it's more close up.
the stilt home itself is closer.
It because of the obviously on the darker one, the actual wording, like
Yeah.
city, you can hardly see where the wording starts. Was there? This is not the original picture. I'm assuming, or does it actually cut off like that?
Every time we have tried to apply the picture that he sent us, it zooms in on the dwelling. It keeps overlapping and zooms in on dwelling.
Even though there's blue space around it?
Yes,
That's interesting.
We've tried it. If someone else is willing to try, I could try and if you want to take a look at the original picture. Her and I have tried several times to get because the actual picture itself is more set back and you get more blue sky. and the stilt home is further back. But every time we apply this to the program that we used, it zooms in on the stilt home. It like zooms in on the entire picture.
What do you
So,
use?
Canva.
Hmm.
And it's like dropping, so when I've even tried to like resize the photo to make it bigger so it doesn't do that, but every time I try and drop it into the circle frame, it zooms in on the,
I wonder if that's because, like the top and the bottom of the picture, it has to fill the circle. I bet, and so it has to bring it in to keep that in the.
I can try and mess with it some more. I mean, I've spent quite a bit of time. It wasn't just like a 5-minute thing. I
Right,
spent
yeah.
quite a bit of time trying to get it. And it's, I mean, everything I've done, I've cropped, I've
you see
resized.
how they have this,
Oh, yeah.
and you've got more on the top here, and it's more further back. But for some reason, it keeps zooming in on that.
This is going to be a problem when we go to print this on t-shirts. Logos maybe on paper might be okay, but the fact that, and I think the lighter is better than the dark, but because you can't read everything on there, and the C and the I get lost. But if you're going to print those on shirts, first of all, you have a lot of different colors, which is going to be a little bit more expensive. But I think it's harder to read than your original
Yeah.
version. And I know we had to change it because of his house, but
They didn't have any other pictures that were a little farther away.
some of the resolution was really bad.
The resolution wasn't right
This
enough.
one had the best resolution.
And it was the time of day that was different. If you take the picture at high noon or anything like that, it's much brighter. So it changes everything completely. We tried to use a photo that was very close to the previous photo that was used, where it was like more of a sunset, sun going down type of situation, where the sun was behind the photographer taking the picture. So
my opinion, other than the readability of that, it's when you bring it in that close, like so we're looking at a lot of stilt house. It's a lot of wood.
right.
You don't, and the stilt house is not really the main.
Right.
It's part of the picture. It's the water, so we're losing that water view, if you will. Is there a way we can try to get our own picture?
We can do that. We can try and do it on our own. I haven't had a chance myself to go out and, take any photos.
Yeah.
So, but we can definitely do that. Lisa tried to send me some pictures, but it was the opposite, where it was too small. It was like literally all water, all sky, and the stilt home itself was very, very small. So, we have to try and find a good in between on that. So.
He wasn't agreeable to your.
Well, it's going to cost. He wanted what?
No, they didn't. There was a cost involved, and also there was a legal liability to it, where the city attorney did not agree with the agreement that the photographer wanted. So it was just, basically holding the city liable for the photo and any future use going on for an extensive amount of time. And she just did not agree with it whatsoever.
I can try and play with it some more and see if there's something else.
Well, seeing the original picture here, I don't know that you're going to be able to do anything, even if you could, just because it is so close up, and you don't like the left side of it. I mean, it's pretty much right up against the still house. Put the other. Where's the other logo?
The white one with the white lettering is a little bit better.
Yeah, they did. They still had, like I said, you still have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's a great picture. Yeah. Well, see, we're under the gun for timing wise on that too.
And the other picture was actually, yeah.
Well, as far as I want to discuss that.
Oh, it's one at a time. If we got one at a time, please.
No, I don't know if there was a photographer that took that, because I think it was just like somebody just posted it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Picture, so it wasn't like.
Well, the thing you run into is if whoever took that,
Yeah.
and they recognize it, then they
They're gonna want the
yeah.
rights.
So
Which is why I think, we were trying to use the owner's picture, or if we took one of our own. I mean, that it would have to be that. But one way or the other, a waiver still has to be signed, which is the city attorney is still working on. So even if we said this was okay, we still have to wait on that. One of my thoughts were, as far as getting the sponsorship packet out, we don't need to put this logo on there now. We could just use the city's logo, like we used it for Boom on the Bayou, just to get it out there, and just so we could start with sponsorships for these events, which would be as soon as council approves it. I think we should start going out there and see if we can get any sponsorships.
I agree on that.
And then that gives us some time to finally lock in this logo issue. But regardless, I'm still waiting on the waiver from Nancy. So, okay. And she told me she is working on it. Said she's just been very busy with several other projects.
yeah, like I said, if we try to get out there, we've had some pretty sunny days and stuff. If try to take the same point of reference, very similar to that. I mean, it really the logo. I mean, it makes the logo the way that the picture was. Trying to doctor it up differently is.
The best bet is just to be, like I said, in a sunset type of position. Obviously, an angle from the still home, and enough distance to have enough water in sky and enough in the building. I mean, you want a blend of all three.
Yeah. I don't know if
The original picture does that, but when you apply it to do to this program to start adding the other features, it zooms in on it more, and you lose that. That's
yeah.
How much did the photographer want for this picture?
Well, it wasn't only that; it was a minimum of $500 for that. But then we have to. The city attorney would have to spend. We'd have to pay for her time to formalize the agreement. So we're paying money into that as well.
But you have agreement in place because he come back and said, "Well, you sold 1,000 T-shirts. I want so much per T-shirt because you put my picture on." I mean, it's you get the
We
whole.
could just take our own picture, right?
That's what we're trying.
Right.
Yeah, Mr. Lake was fine with whatever. He's like, you can take some of your own. He sent me several pictures. Yeah, you can use these. But he's very amenable. He's happy that we want to use his the building in the logo. So if we do it ourselves, he won't have an issue with it whatsoever.
I was thinking, might alter this a little bit by taking out dates and the information on the bottom. This original logo for some of the sponsorship packets right now, so you have some type of logo.
Yeah, just use the city logo.
That's what that's what
Yeah.
we're thinking
Yeah,
of
the
using.
city
Just
logo's in
using that, using the city logo for now, just to get the sponsorship packet out.
This is the Centennial celebration
Yeah.
one, so you could use that just for now for the sponsorship.
You guys, your mics need to be on.
Oh yeah.
So I thought I couldn't hear you very well. Just touch the red mic. There you go.
Did we get a list for all the businesses yet?
For the expo.
Yes, no, for the sponsor.
Oh, I think we're just going to send it to.
No, I still have to coordinate with building department, but obviously we know how busy they've been recently. So
Yeah, I think we're going to send it out to all the businesses.
yes,
So whatever that list is.
Oh, it's going to be sent out.
yeah, I'm going to reach out to development services to get that list, but they've been very busy lately. It's the storm.
So yeah, on the logo, I would say try to get a similar picture that we can keep the same. Otherwise, we probably need to revisit all the logos.
Okay.
And so then once we get approved from council on the events and the dates, then we can go ahead, if we're just going to use the city logo for the sponsorship packet, then that'll be ready to go. And we can start asking for sponsorships.
Well, so once council says, yeah, this list is good, then that'll go out to the business and the sponsorship package. So here's, what
Okay.
do you want to sponsor?
The sponsorship packet doesn't need to be reapproved, right? There, because it's the same from the Boom on the Bayou.
That's a good
Yes.
question.
Does it need reapproval?
I thought we
Council?
were fine with that. We were just waiting on. We can bring it back to the meeting and look it over one more time. But I thought,
It basically mirrored the Boom on the Bayou, other
Matt,
than the categories
Matt,
changed.
the sponsorship packet.
No, you had, if you remember, we passed a sponsorship policy, so that conforms with that.
Oh, okay, as long as it performs
Yeah.
policy, the
Yeah.
council doesn't need to do anything with it. There you go. So we're good.
How does it work? Are there levels of sponsorship, or is there?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we looked at that a couple of meetings ago. They had
Yes.
a draft one that.
Oh.
they weren't on the committee yet.
Oh, that's right. So there was there was a list of levels, and I think the only thing we talked about was actually putting some ad hoc stuff. If you just want to give it a dollar amount, 'cause I think it went down to like $1,000 or something like that. Did we make those changes to that? No. Did we look at the sponsorship packet again after?
No, we didn't. So what I recommend is get the approval from council, and then we're meeting again on the 19th.
Then put the events into the packet, and then we'll just.
We'll put all of the events in the packet, and then
That sounds
present
good.
it to us. We'll look at it one last time and get it out.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Anything else on logo or sponsorship packet or any other old business? I thought I saw about what, unless I was looking at the minutes or something, talking about the financials of some of these events. Are we going to discuss
And once council
impact to the city?
Yeah,
Wait till it comes back after that?
Yeah, once it's approved, that's when we're all going to sit here and determine what the city's going to be, what is the city going to be paying for, and what our sponsors are going to be paying for, and then start figuring out a dollar amount for the city.
Yeah. Did we need to send that data along with the events just to kind of ballpark it so council kind of knows?
We have to also determine which events are admission too, which would impact
Right.
the city's contribution.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I don't know what level of approval council's going to want to look into this. I mean, I can tell you, that's my perspective is approve the list and then we'll work it out. But we do have folks that may want to say, well, how much is this going to cost? How much is this one going to cost? Right.
But then we wouldn't be taken to the 12th.
Right. So I just don't know if that's. I guess we can take 12 as is, and then if they want further clarification, we have to come back to that. So.
Do you think we should mention on the list that we're providing which would be city admission and sponsor?
Which probably fairly self-explanatory, I guess, right? I mean, obviously the meet your local government and time capsule, that's all free. It's City Hall, that's what's going on there. Museum Day, Store Tour, probably, I don't know if we're going to sell stuff for that. That's just kind of a freebie too, I would think. The Business Expo, I said that would be something that the businesses would pay for their booths and whatnot. Bowling tournament would have fees, obviously, to be involved in that. The craft vendor fair, obviously, the booth, the vendors pay a fee to do that. And then there's, obviously, we're going to have city resources involved in this, internal costs. But the field day, that's probably, chili cook-off, there'd be entry fees for that kind of stuff. 5K race, same thing, entry fee. Golf scramble, obviously, you're paying for to participate in that. Take Sport Richie if you're in the wine straw. The details of that. You would probably charge a fee for people to participate in that, and as they go around the different businesses, those businesses would pick up their bottles of wine or whatever. But yeah, wristband, you pay for that, or you get glass or something you carry around with you. I mean, there's several ways to do that. What'd you say?
The mayor's ball.
Yes, the mayor's ball. Yeah, that's definitely a ticketed item. Car show, food truck, the cars that are going to be doing that, the food trucks are going to pay a fee. Golf cart parade, there'll be entry fee. Fishing tournament entry fee. Same thing with the regattas, the kayak canoes. Any participation, stuff like that, there would be a fee. It would vary based on the type of event.
The children's event, Mud Strut, may just be something that the city will.
Yeah, that might be something free that we
Right,
put on just
or
that
something.
field day, same type thing, other than, like I said, some of the events at field day. but yeah, there would be an entry fee to the field day. Free to come and participate, but if you're going to be if you're going to bring your chili, small thing to participate in that, and I imagine there'd be prizes or whatever. Some of that cost you take in gets redistributed, right? Just like I said, Mayor's Ball, obviously the children's event we talked about, the Johnny Cash concert. Obviously, that would probably be. You probably look at that comes that's final day. Obviously, the city would be. That's probably the city's biggest event. Expense is the fireworks. We have fire. We're talking about that. We have fireworks on here. Newport Richie did a drone show. I don't know if we never really talked about. We call it a fireworks celebration, but it could be a hybrid of both. Just one other. I know we had the fireworks for 4th of July, and we've had some issues with that vendor. Did we ever solidify what they were going to do for us? So work through that. So there might be some financial benefit to do fireworks because I think that's part of the negotiation.
Did they say how much the drone show cost?
I asked Chopper, and he said he thought 15,000, and I said, really, that sounds cheap. I think we paid 25,000 for our fireworks show, right? So he was going to double check and verify that cost, and I can get that. But it was really. Did everybody see it?
I saw it on the TV.
Yeah, I think there's some videos out there. I can get a video of it on Facebook and whatnot. It was cool. I mean, it's low noise. Obviously, play music as they're doing it, and they had several different. They did the Big Heart and the Newport Richie stuff. They did some animals. It's neat, different. People really liked it. So it's something we can consider as well. And what they had, I've seen some on the internet that are really like, wow, like people's faces. I mean, you can really do some crazy stuff with those drone shows, right? This was more, if you will, just basic type, nothing real elaborate. I don't know how many drones they had, but that probably keeps the cost down. But it's something we can obviously explore. But obviously, that would be free. That would be all on the city's expense. So that would be the big dollar amount for the city. The Johnny Cash concert, that as well. Maybe it's just we pay for whatever that ends up being, and it's a free. People all day in the park. They do the concert. We'll have some food stuff there. Absolutely offset some of the cost, but and then the celebration at the end. And obviously, as we start to put the committees together to focus on these events, and we find the sponsors or whatever, we will have a better idea of what those cost structures are. But really, the city shouldn't have to put too much forward on most of the stuff, other than resources. And like I said, that final celebration we're putting on the fireworks show and potentially the concert. That's kind of my thought.
Most of your stuff, even like the opening day, museum day, if you're just going to have light refreshments and things like that, that should be at a minimum cost.
Mm-hmm.
So it's when you get into field day, the Centennial, the Centennial Day fireworks celebration, and I'm not sure how Port Richie got down if we're going to be able to. I mean, are we going to get entry fees? Are we going to get entry fees for that, or how that's going to work? But most of the stuff, even if it's the city's cost, should be minimal, except for maybe three to four events out of this list, because the other ones are going to be people either paying an entry fee or something like that. Like the bowling tournament, that's all. There's no cost whatsoever. It's going to be held at the bowling alley. People are going to pay, to bowl. If there's going to be a prize or something at the if anything, the city may contribute a prize for the winner, a trophy or something like that, Centennial bowling trophy.
Have we reached out to the bowling alley?
Not yet, but I will make that my task.
I'm not sure how they do tournaments, because obviously they don't. If you're using their lanes, I don't know if they require a minimum amount. So you rent the lanes and then you do yourself, or if they put it on and they just reserve the lanes, you guarantee them so much participation. I don't know how that works. So
I will get some information, and I'm going to try Bridge Road first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Anything that would keep actually in, it's not in the city limits, but pretty close, but it's only bowling alley we have close. Okay. Anything else on old business?
I would just like to add also, as part of the presentation to the city, that the next meeting for us, on our next agenda, we start divvying up the assignments and start working on them.
Yeah, and I can, as far as our subcommittees, obviously this committee doesn't have the power to create a subcommittee, does it? Does it have to come from council to? Maybe if you could ask Nancy as far as, because this committee is responsible for all the city of Centennial stuff, recommendation of council. Obviously, we're going to need, as these events get solidified, you'll need a mayor's ball committee to work on that. And I don't know if we can just, if we can try to solicit volunteers at our level to do that, or if that's to go to council, because I think council has the power to create ad hoc committees. So
I thought when we created, did we put some language in there about that?
I don't remember.
About it?
Yeah.
She's going to get it.
Okay.
I'll tell you who's that. Meanwhile, I'm watching drone shows.
What's that?
Then I'm watching drone shows.
Oh,
Are they subcommittees or are they just
Are they
assignments of the committee
good?
members? Because I would
well,
think.
so obviously we could have assignments within us, but some of these might need.
It's a big
I
state
mean,
for people.
some of it's going to take some time, and you want, obviously we're kind of overseeing the whole thing and planning and whatnot, but we need people to focus on that, and maybe we can staff it within ourselves, but
Right. That's
Right.
but I would envision that it'd be probably more work than the 9 of us can handle.
we need some outside help, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, it just, and it gives, obviously, if we can solicit some other people to get involved, and while they're not on this committee, they are part of the process, and they can, maybe somebody would like to actually do that particular event, and 4 or 5 people that they run with it, right? And that
Sure.
takes the load off this committee.
So the question is whether we have the authority to assist or
To
ask
see what
for
the-
assistance.
As far as, because that's kind of the next step as we solidify these events,
Right.
is to put people on them, especially the ones that are
Exactly.
starting in February, right? We got to get
Exactly. Right.
stuff rolling, plan out the intricate details of that event.
Exactly right.
And hopefully we'll have some additional people that want to help with that. Otherwise, it probably will fall back on us, right? Because
Doesn't say anything about the committee established.
so yeah, if you maybe mention to Nancy to find out, because if it doesn't say it, then we can't do it. Would probably be her response.
I think, I'm sorry, Ben.
No, you could.
I think Cheryl will be very helpful as far as when she comes, if she's at the next meeting, I'm sure she's watching this now, is that I'm sure she has plenty of resources
Right.
as far as volunteers and people that have assisted her in getting things off the ground. So I think she'll be a big benefit with that moving forward.
And actually, depending on how the sponsorship works, sometimes sponsorships, like for example, the golf scramble, that's not just a financial. When Ryan does though, that's not just a financial sponsorship. I mean, he puts it on, so he's got resources to do. So a lot of that sponsors the event, they may actually help take care of the details, right?
We can also include that as we talk to these sponsors. But if they have, if we talk to any like large dealerships or anything like that, if they have any personnel
Mhm.
that can help us towards the specific event, if they're going to be that primary sponsor or whatever sponsor level they're going to be, if they can include 2 to 5 people that can help us as far as being boots on the ground and helping us coordinate some of this stuff, which I'm sure they'll be more than happy to do that.
Yeah. I mean, for instance, the Newport, which you had their masquerade ball, that was sponsored by Spartan Manor, where they had the event, right? And so they provided staff to serve the food, and I guess there was I don't know if they provided the entertainment that was going on. That was probably something else. But all the logistics around the seating and all that was done by the Spartan Manor. So. Any other questions, comments? If not, look for a motion. This is your favorite thing, Adam.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, motion in both. I think it went to Lakari one. So for the Lakari. So it's Lakari. Yeah. Second motion. Second. All in favor, somebody saying aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Adjourn.